YouTube, what's good? It's your boy, Paulus Harris, A.K.A. the Crazy Y'all. Hey, guess what? This is your first time tuning in. Go ahead, hit the doggone subscribe button, hit notification bell every time I post some new content. Hey, people, got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Uh, we're going to talk about this so-called debt crisis that's going on. And we're actually really going to talk about the United States trying to be the world police once again. Or to be perfectly honest, uh, I really don't think that the United States actually like really stopped being the so-called um, world police, right? Because hey, look, it is what it is what it is. It could be just for the simple fact that the United States uh, was actually like really chosen to actually really be the world police, or it could be just for the simple fact that um, when as far as like the other countries are concerned, when something goes on in your house, that is your house. It really ain't none of your next door neighbor's business to care about what goes on in your house, right? If it's up to the individuals in the house, right, to be like, okay, well, hey, look, you know what? I don't like what's going on, and I'm going to put a stop to it, right? But then once you actually like really put put forth into you go into action and you say, well, hey, look, I'm sick of this shit. I'm not going to take it no more. And so that don't mean motherfucking call the goddamn police, and then the police come out to your house or what have you, and then one until y'all get arrested, and then once the little cool off period is all said and done, that don't actually really mean bring your ass back to the house, because it's just for the simple fact later on it may take a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, or whatever. Just know that whatever they caused you to call the police in the first fucking place, guess what? It's it's gonna cause you to actually really call the police again. So, and I'm only actually really saying this because of what the United States, what they have done to the country of Uganda, right? They're actually like really taking things in their own hands as far as like the alphabet soup group people go. They say, hey, guess what? We're not gonna have that shit here. Plain and simple, right? And then you got here it is the United States or whatever. They go like, oh no, y'all can't do that. But we actually really stop and think about it for a minute, right? Whether you actually really put like this, whether you actually really study history, so-called history, as it is, how it's actually really being represented, right? Then you be like, damn, that's fucked up, right? And it actually really causes a separation. But then when you actually really look at what they didn't tell you or what they didn't put in the history books, then that'll most definitely be like, well, damn, that's fucked up. So either way it goes, you're gonna be fucked regardless. So what's good?
What is happening?
I'm just pretty much just getting just just doing like a introductory, a warm up, if you will. Just wait for you to actually really uh come on here. Just like I say, man, got a lot of
I
stuff to
have a
talk
lot to
about.
say today.
Huh?
I have a lot to say today.
Oh, me and you both. So so how you want to play this? You
Oh,
want to talk
beautiful.
about the so-called debt crisis first, or what the United States government did to the country of Uganda?
No. Um. Wow. You hear the thunder out there? We had a terrible thunderstorm over there.
Oh well, it
Oh,
ain't raining.
get ready for hurricane season. Actually,
Oh, okay. So,
what
but
is
yeah,
it?
it's supposed to be raining here,
Hold on, hold
but
on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My phone just connected there.
oh
You said it ain't raining. What?
no, it's not raining here, but we supposed to get rain in the forecast. But that ain't until Friday.
Yeah. What's interesting is like down here. Well, actually, in Mississippi they get terrible storms too, and Alabama, Arkansas they get
Yeah,
down the south. Everyone gets everything. But yeah,
yeah,
people are
because we
reeling
got
from
tore up.
storms down here.
Yeah, we got tore up pretty. We got tore up pretty bad. When the tornado hit here on March 31st, it actually really tore up a lot of shit here. So uh, that, like I say, a lot of people still recovering. I really drove to some of the places where the tornado hit, and to actually really see nature at its worst, you know, it's actually like really something to see when you drive through and trees are everywhere being uprooted out of the ground, and then uh, houses destroyed, and then the roof torn off of a lot of houses. A lot of people lost their businesses or whatever. So it's actually like really something to think about, you know, when whether it's a tornado or a flash flood or hurricane, right? You actually
Or
like really have to stop
wildfire,
and
something.
think. You really have to actually really have to stop and think about. Okay, well, hey, you really have to respect the weather, whether it's man-made or the Heavenly Father did it Himself. You actually really have to doggone, um, you know, respect the weather, respect what it can, respect the damage that can come along, with weather. So, so yeah. So,
Yeah, it's wild. It's one of the few things that I think brings us together as a humanity, and it's not a big deal what I'm talking about. And we're going to get into the conversation in the episode, but um, man, that hurricane that happened last year, it's not like a blip. It's like a huge. When I say huge deal, that may be an understatement. It changed people's lives forever.
oh yeah,
Period. And that seems to be the only, as you said, I would just caveat on what you're saying. Like the only thing that could bring groups together, like
yeah,
humanity together, and it's a sad thing. But as that's going on, um, I was watching things online, observing geopolitics, observing what's going on, and what's going on between Russia and Ukraine
yeah,
is very interesting. And it hits home, close to home for us, because they're utilizing Patriot missile systems. Supposedly,
yeah,
they say U.S. personnel aren't there, which I believe it. Why would they say it if they're not? And but the systems are there, and obviously they trained them how to use them, and they've
yeah,
been effective in shooting down some oncoming things. And it's an interesting, like it's just interesting to think like at this moment in time, here we are, uh, looking at the world turn the way it
yeah,
is, and selfishly I think to myself this: why can't things be going well? But then the obvious brain, the real brain, goes, "Nope, it's time to go to work. This is what happens. This is what always happens. This has always been going on. It continues to turn, and it's bizarre to look at, and it's a wild time to be alive." I guess that would be my preface and sort of my introduction.
yeah. But
What do you think about that?
I mean, well, the and actually, it's actually really going to coincide with what the first topic is, with this so-called debt ceiling crisis that's going on right now. Uh,
Right.
so so this is what I don't understand, or it could be for the simple fact that I see what's going on because I really had to go back and look at some stuff. I mean, if some of it was a refresher course for me, but then I actually really had to go back and actually like really confirm a few things just before I actually really came on because because when you're doing a show like this or when you're talking about subjects of what we're about to talk about here, you don't want to actually really come on here and look stupid because somebody's actually really going to come back, watch this, and then they're going to be like, oh, no, that is not how it went. So I'm looking at the whole debt ceiling crisis. And then I look at the United States government, they gave millions upon millions of dollars to the Ukraine,
Hmm.
right? And then I'm just,
Billions.
yeah. And so, but then I'm looking at, okay, you got bills due on the first,
Yep.
right? So I'm just like, so I'm
Whether
just
it's VA, Treasury Department payments, Social Security, you
like, yeah.
name it.
So again, so
Did
I'm
you
just like,
hear? I just want to caveat. I just want to caveat.
go
Did you
ahead.
hear what Janet Yellen said? For the people who are unaware or uninformed, I understand what you're saying. I
Yeah,
understand the way you like carpet the conversation by
yeah,
saying, I don't know how people are going to think about this. I don't know what people will say. They're going to fact check me. They're going to, blah, blah, blah. Well, we're beyond fact checking. It's my opinion, and I'm looking around that we're in trouble. And I hope
seriously,
I'm wrong. God, I hope I'm wrong, but I'm telling you, I don't think I'm wrong. And the reality becomes this: Janet Yellen said, we're 11 days away from not being able to pay Social Security, veterans benefits, military retirees, blah, 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 all the way down the line.
yeah,
What do you mean 11 days away? Oh, we came up with a deal. Okay, well, what's the deal? Well, we'll increase the debt limit. We're only 24 trillion in debt. It's like, oh shit. Like, this is eventually, obviously, going to come to roost. When you have a credit card and it keeps going, it
yeah.
keeps going, it keeps going. Thank God for that credit card. But eventually, then what?
Okay, all right. So let me ask you this: um,
Hmm.
the Gold Standard Act, right? We finna go back some years. Um, uh, FDR back in 1933, he initiated it the first time around, and then some, mama go ahead and say 38 years later, in 1971, President Nixon just said, okay, he just really just uh, did away with it totally completely. But then again, you look at 8 years prior to that to what President Kennedy did, as far as like taking out the Federal Reserve totally and completely. That's why he got assassinated in November of 63. So basically what happened with the gold standard, right, is that it actually really regulated money, right? Because they said, okay, like, well, to you got to have so many ounces to gold to make $1, blah 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 blah, and all that kind of stuff, right? So so then the war happens. So now you got to rush in like stuff. people enlisting in the army, so you got to pay them, of course. And then there's the equipment. You got to, all this stuff got to come in. So basically, what happens? Somebody somewhere said that, hey, look, we ain't got enough gold to cover this shit, right? And then they was actually really looking at, okay, well, this is gold, and then this is silver, and then you almost got to look at, okay, well, which one has the most value? But here's the deal, and I just thought of this just now, not even roughly 15 minutes before we came on, right? You can use gold is like the ultimate conductor for like electricity and all that kind of shit. Whatever it is. A lot of people tend to use gold for a lot of other things than besides money. So, but the thing about it though is this: once the gold was there as the conductor, if you will, you really didn't have a whole lot of problems. Not to say that you still have problems, but the problems wasn't as bad as they are now. I mean, because here it is, these people, they take away the Gold Standard Act, which just gives you like, or gives them like permission to act like really just print money beyond belief, right? And so, and then here it is, all these programs come into play, just like with the motherfucking student loans that President Biden put into play. You put all that shit on the goddamn taxpayer, right? And then depending on these motherfuckers, they go to school, they go get them a bullshit degree, right? And depending on what type of degree it is, you can't get no goddamn job. But here it is, you done got this money now that you gotta pay back, and the economy being about the economy ain't about shit, and then everybody is scared to raise their goddamn right hand for whatever motherfucking reason, right? I get it. Listen, I get it. Joining the serving your country, regardless of branch, ain't for every motherfucking body. But it's just for the simple fact: if going to school, if you want to go to school, do your goddamn 3 years or however long it takes for you to get that money, learn a skill, learn some goddamn discipline, and let's take some of the debt. Let's take some of the goddamn debt out the way. But with Biden,
I would agree. I would agree full fold. But can I ask you a question?
what's that?
When you're out and about, like in your town or whatever, um, when you see young individuals who happen to be working at, let's call it a grocery store, fast food place, grocery, gas station, blah blah blah. Do you see the enthusiasm? When I say enthusiasm, or do you see just a problem? Because what I've been witnessing is a problem, and I hope
Yeah,
it's just honestly, it's easy for me to say because I'm not in that situation, but to me, I'm witnessing something. People don't want to work. People have no respect. People, regardless of color, creed, Democrat, Republican, it doesn't matter. Like they don't want to be there, which makes sense. But then it begs the question, what the fuck? Because if nobody wants to be there ever, then what?
yeah.
I mean, what have you witnessed? Like,
Well,
like in your local stores and whatever, like in your
listen,
daily, dealings.
the idiot box is a motherfucker. That's what my grandma used to call it, right? So
What do you
talking
call
about
it?
television, talking about television, right? These bastards,
Oh,
yeah,
the idiot box. Okay.
yeah, the idiot box. So
Okay.
television is notorious will put as far as like putting a fantasy right in front of your motherfucking face. But the thing about it though is this: okay, say you want to be that football player that makes it to the NFL, or that basketball player that wants to get into the NBA, so on and so forth, right? But basically what's happening is this. These motherfuckers don't tell you that out of what the NFL has 7 rounds, right? And then so at best, at best every year 300 players, it may be more than that, but let's just say 300 players will actually really make that dream. Okay, just look at it like this: you drafted, right? Now that don't mean that you actually really gonna stay with that team or whatever, right? But think about it for a minute: 300 people, and how many colleges? How many colleges, universities that have football programs, right? So the odds of you actually really getting in is next to none. Same thing with the NBA, baseball, hockey, or whatever, right? And so, but this is what the fuck they put there, right? Those that want to play those professional sports, yeah, they gonna actually really do that shit. They gonna do anything and everything possible to do that. While on the other hand, if you're a woman, young female, anywhere from the ages of 18 to 25, right? A lot of them trying to get married, but then they also trying to go to school. And for whatever reason, right, they just said the head with financial aid. So what the fuck do? They go get on the goddamn pole and they swing their ass, shake their ass, or whatever.
Yeah,
Because
and today, swinging their ass and swinging around a pole is Instagram, OnlyFans. It's pivoted.
yeah. And so everybody
No,
listen,
truly, it's pivoted.
yeah.
But what
Everybody,
I'm asking is, when you're out and about, do you see people like? What's your assessment when you're out
well,
and about at your grocery store, local, whatever? What do you see?
a lot of it, I hear a lot of complaining, like, believe it or not.
I believe it. Oh, I
But
believe it.
but that's just but here's the deal. That's with
When you
that's
say
with
you
the
see a lot of complaining, what do you mean?
that's with the younger generation. Now, people that's either my age
When you say
and
complaining, you mean like they don't want to do what they're doing?
no, they I mean it's almost like because I remember I went to this one grocery store and it was this one female. She looked like she couldn't have been no more like by 22 or 23. And then she was talking to some of her other friends, right? And it's
When you say other friends, you mean coworkers?
yeah, coworkers, yeah. So
See,
so
that's a fucking
basically,
problem right there. They think like it's a goddamn show.
yeah. So basically, what happens is that, girl, I'm here at 6 o'clock or whatever,
Mm.
and I'm just like, and it's like 8 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock in the morning, and it's almost like again, you look at the idiot box. So you're looking at the rapper, you're looking at the football player, the basketball player, or whatever, and they're doing videos or whatever, and then everybody wants that quick dollar, right?
Mm.
But and then here come the young women or whatever. They looking at themselves in the mirror. Well, I got a nice set of titties. I got a little nice little round ass. So if I can go shake
Yeah.
my ass just enough, right? Then one of these motherfuckers that actually really come swoop me up because for one, they don't want to work. They don't want to actually really go out and get it for themselves, right? And then you look at the male's point of view. A lot of them be like, well, damn, I'm not finna make it. I'm not finna go. I'm not finna get drafted in any of the motherfucking 4 major sports out there. So they either finna call themselves rapping or they finna get involved in the drug game. It's almost like motherfuckers today, they don't know what it is to actually really go out there and do a honest day's work. It's this is so much of a
Yeah, it's
white
it's 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 almost discouraged. That's
yeah.
interesting. It's almost discouraged if you would look at, hey, budget, what you need to do, have a savings account, have a 401k, You put a little bit away, everything will be okay. No, that's gone. It's almost become that's lame. Why would I do that? How could I do that? Now we're talking about cartel, gang violence, uh, World War, honestly, and
Yeah,
it's like, like what the fuck is going on? And to me, as a veteran, like when I see Veterans Day, we just had Memorial Day
yeah,
down here in Tampa. It's a huge deal because it's like Bay Pines, um, it's Centcom, a lot of guys who actually gave their life down here,
yeah,
and veterans who actually did something and fucking get it. And it's
yeah,
like nobody cares. Nobody cares. We're talking about a border crisis. With all due respect to Guatemalans, El Salvadorians, Mexicans, individuals who they're coming also from China and the Middle East as well through that border. And with all due respect to those individuals, um, with no identity of what this place is, there is no place. And I just, I'm telling you, just like you live in a house, you know if something's going wrong. If you have a kid who's acting up, if you have a friend who's acting up, if you have a partner who's acting up, and the
hey, check
home
that
looks
out.
apart.
You see that?
Well,
Somebody just we got one person that says today is about
oh,
hit the
okay,
lick, you know, and then
respect. What
yeah,
I'm saying is, I just feel like something's being ripped apart, and everyone needs to like calm down. Like if it could be face to face, everybody would be cool. But what we've been through literally around the world and back, people would understand that, and it just I think it's moving too quick. I like to see progress. I like to see things done, but I think it's moving too quick because
yeah,
what's going on is it's inappropriate, and I could get
uh-huh.
into it, but I don't know. Maybe I'm ranting too much, but I just think it's happening a little bit too quick.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, I mean, it's almost like don't nobody. I mean, I think,
You know what I mean by that, though, or no?
yeah, yeah, I hear what you're saying. It's almost like what that song that was. What was that song that was out a few years back? I want to say started from the bottom. Now we here. So it's
Yeah.
almost like don't nobody want to start at the bottom no more. It's almost like, oh no, put me up here, motherfucker. You ain't proved yourself.
Well, here's the
You
thing.
gotta
Here's the thing. You can't start from the bottom if there's no here.
exactly right. So again, as far as like the debt ceiling, the debt ceiling goes right. I talked about what happened in 1933. Talked about what happened in 1971. Right. That one thing that actually really gave you stability has been taken away, and then I'm still trying to figure out who the fuck we owe. So I mean,
That's a good question.
you know,
It's funny when you say that. I don't know either.
yeah, I'm still trying to figure out who the fuck we owe. I mean, now as far as like
They
people,
say China bought the debt. It's like, well, come get it then.
yeah, I'm just like, okay, like, yeah, those of us that are retired,
That is such a fuck. Please,
yeah,
please call this podcast. Who the fuck do we owe, or who do we actually owe?
that's
That's a
why I
great
said,
question.
listen, that's why I said debt ceiling crisis, and I put a lot of whole bunch of question marks behind it, because I'm just like, put like this: people that's drawing social security, retirees, or people that disabled for whatever reason. Yeah, give us what the fuck you owe us, motherfucker. Put like this: it's just like what I said before you came on. I'm just like this because, just like I say, this country then gave millions upon millions of dollars to the motherfucking Ukraine, right? But I'm like this: whatever the fuck goes on in your house, God damn it, that's your house. What the fuck do I look like interfering with you? And what the fuck you doing in your house? Square your own goddamn house away. Cause I'll be like this, hey motherfucker, I got bills to pay. Right? I really, listen, if you getting your ass whooped, then
Now
look,
false flags make sense.
yeah, I'm just like, hey, look, if
Hey,
you get
the United States says, "Hey, motherfucker, we got bills to pay."
so yeah, so
Now they make sense. It's like
yeah,
you mean to tell me you're gonna rob a bank? Well, shit, I didn't want to rob a bank, but I had to rob the bank. You
yeah,
mean to tell me you're gonna run those planes into these buildings and start a war? Why would you do that? Well, we can make a lot of money off this.
yeah. Like I said, you got a lot of motherfuckers like
Listen, you don't need psychology. You don't need to run a long way away from why would you rob a bank versus what happened in 9/11.
yeah,
Think
and
about that.
we all know what happened.
No, seriously, think about that.
Yeah, I know.
Why
That
Pearl
was
Harbor happened? Why
yeah,
Vietnam happened?
yeah. Just like I said, I just finished watching. Remember the Zeitgeist movies back in the day, where
Who are you
boy,
telling? Hold on. Where do we watch that?
yeah. So you already know what I'm talking about. You know,
Oh, yeah.
a lot of this
Staff
shit.
duty. Staff duty.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was CQ. It
Hello.
was CQ. So,
Oh
so
yeah, Siku. Yeah, my
yeah,
bad.
and so so it was
But you
like,
get it.
okay, yeah. Oh, who is it? Bliss. I forget what unit it was, but I'm just looking at the simple fact. Okay, if you see how shit is set up, right, and then you look at a lot of it. A lot of this shit was done on purpose, if not all of it. So and then again, I told you what happened 30 years ago, right? Iraq did the exact same shit to Kuwait. Kuwait was a big oil producer, and Saddam Hussein tried to go over there and overrun it. And he tried to overrun it, and he didn't went mute just that fast. Well, in either case, he tried to overrun it, and then we already know what the fuck happened with that. Hold on, y'all, because I already know. Hold on. Yeah, there
You
you
said
go.
I went mute that fast. Sorry,
Yeah, you
I had to
did.
take a piss. I didn't want you to hear that.
Oh, okay, all right. So, but think about
I
it for a
thought that
minute.
would be the gentleman. I
Yeah,
thought it'd be
but
the right thing to do.
yeah, but think about it though. What's going what's going on in the Ukraine right now?
Hold on, is that the right thing to do if I take a piss? I just hit. I don't want
Oh
you to hear me pissing.
no, wait, no, I ain't want to hear that neither. But the thing about it, so but
Okay, well that was the right thing to do then.
okay then. But I didn't know that that's why you went mute. So, but in other case,
Well, I tried to keep it
yeah,
discreet.
yeah. But think about it for a minute though. The same thing that's going on right now is the exact same thing that happened 30 years ago, back in 1991, when Hussein attacked motherfucking Kuwait. It was about oil then. Is goddamn it is about oil now. So history has repeated itself in that aspect, right? So now they want to sit up here and holler about a motherfucking debt ceiling. One then here it is. You got one group is saying no, another group is saying yeah. But then again, I'm looking at it like this, right? It's quick for a motherfucker to say no,
Mhm.
knowing that they gonna get paid regardless, or they already know that they got money. They already know that they got enough money in their bank account or bank accounts, right? And they be like, "Well, hell no, I'm not gonna vote. I'm not gonna vote on that." But my
Mhm.
whole deal is this: they 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 keep talking about this motherfucking digital money shit, right? Which, for the most part, digital money has been in play for the past 50 some odd years, right? So so when you holler digital money, so I'm just saying, let's just say for shits and giggles that whenever the deadline is, let's just say can't nobody come to no motherfucking agreement. And the government shuts down because it's like this, right? If you got a laptop computer or you got a phone or you got cable or whatever, anytime when that shit has to be updated, right? What happens to your laptop? What happens to your phone? What happens to your motherfucking cable box? That shit has to shut down. It has to shut down, bring in new information, and then reboot itself. And then all of a sudden, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, everything is digital, motherfucker. Everything has always been digital."
Say it one more time, motherfucker. Say it.
I know. I'm just
Say
saying, motherfucker.
it.
Everything
No,
has
but people
always
don't
been
understand
digital.
that. Say it, motherfucker.
I'm just saying.
People don't understand that concept.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Think about it for a minute.
Hold on, one more
Everything.
time. Please say it,
I'm just like,
motherfucker.
motherfucker. Everything has been digital. It's been digital, right?
It is. Everything
Don't
is on
nobody write
digits.
no damn check out. Hold on. Don't nobody write no damn check out for your ass no more. They looking for you to have a bank account.
Ah,
They are looking for you to have a bank account. And then and listen, and the one motherfucker that they did kill, the creator of Cash App, right? You know, they was like, oh, hold on, wait a minute, you doing some shit that we supposed to do. So they hurt him and knocked his ass off. I don't know what the fuck for, right? Because the thing about it was this. It used to be a
You heard
time where,
about that, huh?
yeah, it used to be a time where that
You know the story behind it?
I put like this again. When I know they killed him off, but
Yeah,
I was
that's a fact.
yeah. So I'm looking at this and fact. Okay, well,
I'm saying how.
it was
I'm saying, do you know how?
no, I don't know how they killed it. That I don't know.
Well, it came out apparently that it was a love, not a love triangle, but basically he was hooking up with the lady and her brother-in-law, who's also in the world, in the Silicon Valley world, um, murdered him. And they say, okay, that's how it gets pawned off. And I go, in my head, I go, maybe. How do I know? I'm not involved in that shit.
Yeah,
But make no mistake, that guy who created Cash App was doing the world a huge service. And they wanted that guy out of there. I can tell you that. And if you don't think this chick who's fucking this guy, brother, who's a nobody, happens to kill this guy, whatever. They might have set that dude up. Who fucking knows? But they wanted that guy out of there. The founder of Cash App. That is sketchy. That Cash App shit.
yeah, yeah,
And nobody will talk about it. We'll talk like me and you are talking about it. But
yeah.
in a couple days, who's going to talk about it?
Nobody, nobody.
It's fucked up. You think about it. He revolutionized transactions monetarily when it comes to the United States cash system and globally, and bam, he's gone.
Yeah. You know
What
what?
do you think happened to him? Like just your gut feeling. We're allowed to have gut feelings, right?
Oh yeah. But you
What do
already
you
had
think
said
happened to him?
that guy. He was on
They
to
killed
something.
that motherfucker.
Listen, he was on to something that, for the most part, nobody had actually really thought about. You know what? Now a lot of what I'm about to say may be far fetched, but I'm almost about ready to put him in the same category as Nikola Tesla.
Wow.
Because when because Tesla found out that, hey, look, if I go up high enough in the atmosphere, I can catch that goddamn electricity and have free electricity for everybody, where everybody else is trying to measure electricity and they trying to measure how much water you use. Because the thing about though is this: how the fuck you gonna charge me for water, right? How the fuck you gonna charge me for motherfucking electricity? I can see it if you act like really created it, but you didn't. You just figured out a way to regulate it. Plain and simple, right?
Hmm,
Same thing with gas,
very
right? How
interesting.
the fuck you gonna charge me for gas, right? I mean, what do I mean, because you regulated one way, I'm gonna regulate it another way. And then again, so say you get away from gas and you go to electricity. Guess what? They still got you, right? So Nikola Tesla came up with this brilliant idea. He said, look, if I can capture that shit up there in the atmosphere, harness it in such a way where everybody can have free electricity. And then to the guy, you know what? That's my brother that actually did that comment. So so you say it's all about hitting the lick, bro. But then I'm like, okay, but at what cost? Because Nikola Tesla, he didn't give a damn. He was willing to provide free electricity for everybody. And a lot of the folk that he was trying to get sponsored him said, hell no, we need to be able to regulate that shit. So here it is. You got people that actually really want to do the right thing, right? And then you always gonna have somebody that's actually really gonna try to capitalize. Yeah, they know it's up there too, but Nikola Tesla was the only one to know how to harness that shit, right?
Well, think about it. That's been a tale told as long as time,
Yeah,
no matter what it is. And it's bizarre, but when you like nice things, when you like
we all
ego,
like nice things,
well,
right?
what I'm trying to say is, it's been a tale told as long as time. When you like
Yeah,
nice things, we all have an ego, whether we self-describe with it or not. You want to be better than the next individual. Why? Well, you could be a lazy piece of shit and do nothing, or you could be in shape and have a budget and have savings and be desirable.
yeah,
Why not do one or the other? So that juxtaposition, that level, that balance is what it is. So if it was just free energy, free everything, free all the time, well, then we're all the same. We're just androids.
yeah,
And the bizarre point is, it seems like they want to make us androids, meaning the same, the same, the same, the same for eternity. And here's the thing: who wants to make us the same, the same, the same in perpetuity? There's somebody in charge of that algorithm. There's somebody in charge of that script. There's somebody at the top, and it's also ego.
yeah. Well,
It really
now,
is.
yeah, but here's the thing that what me and you both said at the top of this. I talked about the tornado that hit here on March 31st. You talked about the hurricane that happened down there. And it brings people together. And so my whole deal is now if you actually go back and look at over the course of history, anything disastrous that happens, people want to come together. Now, why is that? How come people can't come together when shit ain't happening? Put like this: we only come together when somebody died in your family, or a tornado that came up and fucked up your shit, or a hurricane or earthquake. Then everybody won't come together, right? I'm like, well, goddamn it, what was your problem before all this shit happened? So, and it's just like what you said, right? Some of it You know, it's a program that's been put in place, and there's a lot of motherfuckers don't know that it's. A lot of people don't know that that program is there, right? But I truly, honestly believe that once people know that that program is there, they'll cut that motherfucker off and be like, "Hey, look, let's all get together and try to do something." But that's gonna be damn near next to impossible. But then, depending on who you talk to, that's gonna be next to impossible. But then I also look at it like this: when you get people that's around my age and older, right, that's been around for a minute, and it's up to us to be like, "Hey, look, you're doing this shit all wrong, right? Stop looking for that motherfucking fast money, right? Tell your ass to work at motherfucking McDonald's or Burger King or be a bagger at a goddamn grocery store. Or better yet, tell your ass down to the motherfucking recruiter office, do your goddamn 3 years, carry your ass to school, right? And maybe, just maybe, somebody give your ass a motherfucking job. And if that don't be the case, then damn it, do another 17 years wearing a uniform regardless of branch, and then you ain't got to worry about the shit no more. But then
You know what's
again,
interesting? Hold on, hold on.
what's that?
You know what's interesting? You're giving yourself way too little credit. And I'm saying this because the individuals who are rolling around cannot even comprehend what you had to go through to get to where you are. And I'm sure you'll talk to younger people and you'll talk to individuals, but as an individual who's been in the United States military, who's been in the United States Army, who's been a part of your unit, who's been under your leadership, who understands what it takes to be in the units we were in, um, hey, you busted your fucking ass over and over and over, and you laid a foundation for the society that out of no problem of yours is crumbling. We just happen to be here as it's as Rome's fallen, essentially. And it kills me to hear you say that because I'm like, damn, if you could just give this information to individuals, they could take the blueprint, they could just bang, 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 go do that. They don't want to do it. They're not doing it.
No.
I don't know why. I don't know what that means, but it's bizarre. But
Yeah.
at the same time, we need to motivate people. So I guess that's why we're having the conversation. But
Yeah.
I don't see it. I don't see it with like younger people. When I joined the military, I was fired up. I figured everything out. I got leadership like you. You know, we did what we had to do, and
Yeah.
you don't make it through basic training. You don't make it through AIT. You don't make it through a certain unit. You don't make it to get promoted. You don't blah 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 blah. It keeps going without meeting with those individuals that obviously like we did. But
Yeah.
I'm just worried for our future. Meaning like the 18-year-old me, I'm worried for because I don't see them. I don't see it.
Well, for me,
I
the
really don't
eight.
see it. Maybe you
Yeah.
thought that at the time, and maybe I came
Yeah.
wrong, but maybe I'm
Yeah.
missing it.
Yeah. But I will tell you, and me, you didn't talk about this plenty of times. The 18-year-old me, right, would have said, "Hell to the no! I'm not. I'm not joining the army. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that." Because, and I talked to, I'm pretty sure I talked a little bit about it in my book. Because as a little boy,
Yeah, you
right?
talked about it in the book.
Yeah, as a little boy, that was my dream to join the army, be a 5-star general. And then, well, they don't have 5-star generals no more. But in either case, I wanted to be high ranking,
The
retired.
equivalent.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to be high ranking, retired, and then I knew at an early age that look, I wanted to be able to get out and I knew that I had to go out there and get it if I wanted to be a success. Here it is, I'm 50 years old. And a lot of motherfuckers will argue me down. No, motherfucker, you ain't 50. Yes, I am. Right? You know, and then I had to pull out my motherfucking ID and driving license. Like, damn, you are 50. Yeah, no shit, motherfucker. Right? You know, so I'm just always saying,
Hey, that's an honor, actually.
yeah. So I'm just like, yeah, I take care of myself. Yes, I go to the
Mm.
gym. Yeah, I'm gonna have me a drink, smoke some weed or whatever the fuck to relax. But I'm in the gym. I'm in the gym like nobody else. I don't nobody do what the fuck I do in the gym. Don't nobody lift as much as me at my goddamn age, or at least at my size. Don't nobody do what the fuck I do in the gym. You, super smooth, and everybody else that has served with me, y'all know what the fuck I'm capable of, right?
Yeah, I
So
was just about to say, I don't know why you're saying about the age.
yeah,
You should have just said size.
yeah. So
You're a motherfucker. Everyone
yeah,
knows. Who is questioning that?
yeah, you'd be surprised. So, but
Really?
yeah, and
Oh
I
God!
listen. Look,
What a bunch of dumbasses.
listen. I listen. Every time I go to the gym, I lay and wait for the day for any of them bastards to try to challenge me, right? But you know that hasn't came up yet. But and neither am I looking for it. But the thing about though is this: if you challenge me, I'm gonna embarrass you, like plain and simple. You know, so,
Ah, hey,
but
I love it.
yeah, I just feel like
But really, people feel like you feel like something like where does that feeling come from? Have you like had individuals roll up on you, or is it just sort of like a feeling of like, hey, people are thinking this or that?
well because I think a lot of it is because like
And
2 years ago,
also
yeah,
being in the military,
yeah,
also being in
two
the
years,
military,
yeah,
being in the civilian world, it's like
yeah,
I don't want to say PTSD, but like a little anxiety issue, meaning like
yeah.
there's
So
always something
okay,
right
hold on.
there on the peripheral.
Let me tell you this.
Hmm.
Um, 2 years ago, right? My wife, me and my wife, we went to the gym, and she didn't know, she really didn't realize how strong I was, right? And so I would tell her what I used to do and all that kind of stuff. And so I went
What
and
you used to
grabbed,
do, be the heavyweight champ.
yeah, again. But here it is, my wife,
She's
right?
she's unaware. Go ahead. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
she was unaware. And matter of fact, I will send you the video. But so I went and grabbed 115-pound dumbbells, right? And she like, what are you doing? I said, you think that I'm not this damn strong. So I went and grabbed the 115, right? And I got on the flat bench and I'm just repping the motherfuckers out, right? And then I think I did anywhere like from 10 to 15 reps or whatever. I dropped them. And then I got in her face. I said, you got any more questions now? Right? And so basically what happens now, what my wife will tell you is that as she's recording me, right? She looking at everybody else in the damn gym. Everybody is looking at me thinking that, oh, he ego lifting, right?
Uh,
And so,
is that
and
what they
so,
call it? Ego lifting?
yeah, that's what they call it now. They call it ego lifting for whatever fucking
I've
reason.
never heard that before.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
put
yeah.
that in my arsenal.
That's the new thing. So then, but then once they actually like really saw me rep the 115s out, and then they was like, well, damn, yeah, he is that motherfucking strong, right? So, and so. for me, right, I go into the gym, everybody know who the fuck I am. Everybody know what the fuck I do. Right? So it's just that I mean, and the thing about doing this, I don't go in the gym to motherfucking try to impress nobody. I go in there, I do my thing, and I'm out of there. Granted, fact,
Well, people don't also understand that how many people have you helped learn, get up?
yeah, how to live, because it's the kind of
Exactly.
people. Yeah,
But
it's a,
excuse me, how about people who are actually veterans who people blah blah blah. Like
yeah,
you've helped. How many people have you helped? Countless. I'm one of them, by the way.
a whole battery. I mean,
Exactly.
because think about it.
But people don't
I,
see that part.
listen, I come to a battery that was last in the motherfucking battalion as far as PT average. I took these
Kurt,
motherfuckers. Listen,
Kurt, Kurt. Can I tell you something?
what's that?
And you should have put this shit in your book. When I got there, blah blah blah. I got fat and high in the hog. 244 was my PT score when I got to Kunsan, right?
Yeah,
You left you with the 6'5" deuce, 2-1. Do you know the week you left, they started running PT? After my marathon, after all my shit, you know what I scored?
what's that?
322. And if you're in the military, you know what that means.
Yeah,
I went from 244 to 322.
yeah,
Um, what changed? Well, I found a group of men. I found people who I found a group, a team, an actual unit. Um, and quite frankly, I got embarrassed in the gym. When I say embarrassed in the gym, I was vulnerable. You showed me, do this, do that, do this. Hey, I did it.
yeah,
322 all day long.
yeah,
And I kept yelling at motherfuckers. That's it. And
yeah,
I never stopped.
yeah.
But from 244 to 322 would have never happened without this individual. I swear to God, it would have never happened. Period.
Yeah.
It's just a fact.
I gotta to
I did
put
my own thing, but it would have never happened without the little bump, without that thing.
yeah to listen to put in perspective because I was watching this one video today and they was talking about who has the biggest biceps in Hollywood, right? And so they had The Rock, they had Arnold, they had a couple other people. So The Rock probably like I don't know about now, but they when they measured his bicep, right? His shit was at 20 inches, right? Guess how big my biceps are?
No,
16.
you know what I was just gonna say. I swear to God, I'm so glad you said that because
Yeah,
when I was at my fucking prime, I'm talking prime at that 322.
yeah,
I'm not a big strapping guy, but it's like if I get my hands around you, you're done. I'm
yeah,
strong.
yeah,
That's different from bulky. That's different from water weight. Period.
yeah,
It's functional. Like motherfucker, I could run 2 miles and I will beat your ass.
yeah. I mean, but here it is. I'm 50. I'm 50 years
Yeah.
old. I'm 50 years old, and I got 16-inch biceps, and I barely weigh 200 pounds. You know,
Lean.
so again,
And you have a good time.
yeah. And so my whole
Meaning you have a good diet.
yeah. And so for me, right, I just like, hey, look, go to the gym, take care of yourself, do whatever it is that you need to do to take care of yourself. Because I've been doing this shit forever and a day, right? So, uh, and just like say, here it is, just like what I told you. I took a battery that had a 244 average,
Yep.
and When I left, top notch in the motherfucking battalion. But these guys,
Top notch. These motherfuckers are ready for special forces selection. Blah blah blah. And
yeah.
I'm like, oh, everyone, calm down. And they're like, oh, Curtis Harris is leaving. I'm like, damn, that sucks.
But then, but
I
when
thought you
I
were talking about
retired,
Steve. I thought you were talking about Steven.
yeah,
No, he's leaving. He's going to Suwon. I'm like, holy shit.
but
You
but
know,
when it,
we were crushed. By
yeah,
the way,
but
you know we were crushed.
oh yeah, but when it came time for me to retire, these motherfuckers want to give me an AAM. I'm like, y'all shove that up your ass. I done did too much.
Really, just an AAM?
Yeah. No, they were gonna give me an RCOM.
Wow.
No, they were gonna give me an RCOM, right? So I done told her, I said, look, y'all take that and shove it up your ass. Don't mail it to me. Don't do shit with it. Go fucking give me an RCOM, and I done did anything and everything for this motherfucking battalion. Fuck y'all. That's exactly what I said, right? So,
you know what was wild? We got back from Korea. Here's what happened. We got back from Korea, and everyone went on leave as soon as we got back, like typically. Yeah. And we came back, and they're like, "Oh, Sergeant Harris Curtis is gone," and we're like, "What?" I'm talking about me and the Rat Pack. We're like, "What?" They're like, "Really? He's gone? Like he went to 6.5 Deuce, da da da." We're like, well, "What the fuck?" And we got these new people, which it happens, and God bless these new people up. They were fine. But we were just like, wow, well, that changes things. And you grow as men, and, you know, shit changes. You go home and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, damn. Well, that's the Army.
Yeah. So, last subject before we get out of here. The United States being the world police again. They either have already put sanctions on Uganda, or they about to
put I heard about this.
About as far as like the law that they passed against the alphabet soup group people. So again, this actually really goes back to what I was saying earlier. What you do in your house is your damn business. Right? And I just feel like just because you didn't pull the drapes back, or you didn't lifted your blind up, and you see what the fuck your next door neighbor is doing, whether it be good or bad, that ain't none of your damn business. Let them folk handle how they listen. If this is how they feel about the doggone alphabet soup people, then damn it, let them do their shit. Just because you allow that shit to happen here with Caitlyn Jenner and the motherfucker that was on the Bud Light can or whatever. Look, if that's what the fuck y'all want to do, then look, do that. Leave your next door neighbor alone. And you know, I'm just, you know, because I think what they said, like, look, if we find you motherfucking sword fighting or bumping lily pads, yeah, you finna pay the price.
Bumping lily pads. How dare you, motherfucker?
If people don't know what the fuck a lily
hold on, that's a first
is,
for me. That's a first for me. That's hilarious.
Listen, if you don't know what the fuck if y'all don't know what the fuck a lily pad is, I will give you a hint. It's wet, just like how you motherfuckers get wet now.
Oh Lord. Okay.
So, again.
Oh my God.
Again, well, that was a phrase. That was a phrase. That,
bumping lily. Hold on. I'm stealing that. I'm just letting you know right now.
Yeah.
Bumping lily pad. Sorry, that caught me.
That was something.
Woo!
That was something.
I've never heard that. No. Was that like? Is that a common thing? What you just said?
That's what because my grandmother.
It's funny as hell.
Listen.
Hey, can we call that our new podcast, Bumping Lily Pads?
Okay, well, hey, look, hey, look, yeah, I'm pretty sure to go. I'm pretty sure to
The
go.
si-
Yeah, and then
bumping lily pads. The Scissoring Bros podcast.
yeah. I mean, because my grandmother, my
That is
grandmother,
hilarious. I'm sorry.
my grandmother
Ah,
on my mother's side, right? She always listen. She would always try to censor herself around her grandchildren, and so instead of saying bumping pussies, right? She was
yeah, I
like
get it.
she was like bumping lily pads, and so because
Wow.
both of the motherfuckers get wet, so I'm just so
Oh my god.
so it was a lot of shit that my grandmother said because she would always tell me. He said she was like, "Now look, if you're gonna be out there, make sure you put your boots and shoes on." I'm like, "What the fuck you talking about?" I mean, I didn't say that, but boots
But
and
you're
shoes.
thinking it.
Yeah, I'm just like boots and shoes. And he's like, she like put a cutter on, motherfucker. That's what she would.
Uh,
So it was always little things that my grandmother would say, and then because like I know I said this around y'all plenty times. Well, I just said, look, y'all, I said what y'all doing right now is just as bad as farting in the bathtub and turn around biting the fucking bumper. So I got all that shit on my grandma. I did. That was shit that my
that
grandma would
is
do,
fun.
right? So so I would
Yeah,
use
it came from somewhere.
yeah. So I would use all of that throughout the course of my career. I still say it today, and then I tell
That's
you this.
funny.
I listen. I'm
That's
gonna
a
tell
good
you.
analogy, actually.
Listen, but the most classic one that I ever heard is from my mama, right? I'm pretty sure I told you this, but if I didn't, I'm gonna tell you again. Apparently, somebody had cut my mama a real bad deal, so they had the nerve to call my mama, and then you can't never hear all of the conversation, right? But all I heard was help you out, motherfucker. If your ass was in the desert and you hadn't had no water for 3 days, and the only thing to save your life was the sweat off of my funky ass, I wouldn't let you have it. And so now, so
Oh my god.
so
Oh my
so 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 now
yeah. Hey, that's wild.
so as a kid, right? You hear that, and then
Damn.
you think, damn, whoever that was on the other end of that line, right? They really had to piss my mama off for her to even
Oh
say
yeah.
something like that. So again, it was like, I mean, growing up like how I grew up, you heard that was my thing. I mean, my parents, my uncles, my aunts, they lied to say any kind of old fucked up shit, but when once you actually really sat down and thought about it for a minute, then you were like, oh, okay, that makes perfect sense. What they was actually really trying to say. I mean,
Right.
in fact, instead of them
Well,
saying,
what it
yeah,
turned into was supreme military leadership.
yeah, yeah,
I mean,
so
honestly, if I want to be selfish and say how it turned into my life was supreme military leadership. All the guys I know, your influence within our
yeah,
units. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's apparent and it's obvious. And damn, hey, let's leave this podcast right here, right now. And when do you want to do another one? A day or two?
Yeah, we could do another one. We could either do what is this,
Due
Wednesday?
to my issues in the family life,
Yeah,
uh, I fucked some things up. when I say fuck some things up, not literally, but I like to keep a tight schedule. And when I can't keep a tight schedule, it bothers me. However, um, things
Oh,
are getting better, and it's getting better, and things are gonna get where they need to be, and shit will get done.
yeah.
And
But now it's
go ahead.
now for you, right? You say you like to keep a
Mhm.
tight schedule. So do I,
I
because
try. No, I
but
like to. Not
yeah,
that I have.
well, I mean, I'm the same way. I'm the same way with me and my wife. Now, great the fact, all what the fuck I do is go to the gym, but I get up first and foremost. I get up before every goddamn body, right? And then sometimes I might come back and lay down for a little bit or whatever. And but then I go, I take my pre-workout. I take my pre-workout, so I'm already fucking wired, right? So and then I swear I love my wife to death, right? But I swear sometimes she's slow as Christmas as far as like getting ready to go to work, right? Because I already got that damn pre-workout in me, and my body is tingling, and I'm scratching my head, and then she looking at me like, "What is wrong with you?" I'm like, "You need to hurry the hell up, because this pre-workout that kicked in, right?" And then she was like, "Well, did nobody tell you to take it so early?" And then I'm like, "Well, did nobody tell you take so damn long to get ready?" Right? So, so you
God
know,
bless her.
yeah. But sometimes. So so basically, what I've been doing is like, okay, once I actually really think that she's about to be ready to walk out the door, right? Then I'll take my pre-workout, take my pre-workout, you know, and so whatever tingling that's gonna happen to me is when I'm on my way to drop off at work, and then I go to the gym. So so for me, right, it's just like what you say, sometimes you have to adjust fire, but don't don't do it in such a way where that you losing your sector, if you will, right? If you gotta swivel that motherfucker because you know something's coming, right? Then hey, by all means, right? And just say, hey, look, you'll thank me later. So so when you look at it from that aspect, right? And then it's we're both leaders, right? So when you because sometimes they don't always see it the way that we see it, right?
Yeah, that's the problem right there. You
And
just
so
nailed it.
yeah, and so but we have been learned to see it from every angle possible,
Right.
So just say, hey, because I always tell my wife, listen, I tell my wife right today, look, I'm fucking this chicken. You just watch the feathers fly, right?
How dare
Right? I mean, you can't fuck it, so stay over there. I'm fucking this
Wow.
chicken. You just watch the feathers fly, right?
Kurt, I have a
Yeah.
question.
What's that?
Can we do it again tomorrow?
Oh, by all means, by all
I
means.
love that. What do you think? Same time or
Yeah,
earlier or later?
yeah. We can do the same time tomorrow.
Perfect. I'm I'll be good to go. And man, what a good conversation. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem, man. Come on now. You know I got you.
All right.
All right, man. I'll talk to you.
All right, peace.
Yep. And that's another show that's done. Uh, for the one person that's still watching, hey, I appreciate it. For the second person that was watching, uh, I appreciate you as well. So for the two people that was watching, I'm gonna always end it the same way that I always ended off. Hey, guess what? Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell Big Dad, tell Big Bertha, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your papa, motherfucker next door, cross the street, round the corner, Paulus Harris, A.K.A. Crazy Uncle. I'm gonna holler at y'all.